In what ways do you see Christ in your friends?
I like to see Christ in curiosity. I think that's one that really strikes me a lot, is when I have friends who aren't Catholic or are Catholic but don't really know a lot about it, and so they come and they'll ask me questions, and sometimes I don't even know.
Oh yes, I love that. But we get sometimes good conversations at lunch.
It's really good. And it's really nice. I have one friend in particular right now who's kind of considering becoming Catholic, and so I get a lot of questions, and sometimes I don't always know the answers, but then I get to learn too, and it's actually really exciting. And so I see Christ in her a lot, where I'm like, she's really trying and she wants to know more, and I think that's really powerful and beautiful for her.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Drippy with Jesus. My name is Leelah Hassel-Duncan.
My name is Annabella Montini.
And like I said, we are Drippy with Jesus. We are not the future of the church. We are the church now. Would you like to introduce the topic for today?
Absolutely. All right, so today we are talking about friendships and our faith. So our faith with friendships with faith, all that kind of good stuff. We are talking about how it brings us closer to Christ and how we can see Christ in other people.
And today we're joined by 4 lovely people. So we're just going to go around and do a little just self-introduction, starting with Aaron.
All right, hey, I'm Aaron Rick. I'm a junior at JP2, and I do the cross-country swim team and track team.
I am Joseph Collins. I'm a senior at JP2, and I'm an only child who loves music.
Hi, my name is Grace Sizemore. I'm a senior at Father Ryan High School, and I'm involved in theater and speech and debate, and I manage the lacrosse team.
Hi, I'm Haley Boyd. I'm a senior at St. Cecilia Academy. I play varsity lacrosse. I love reading, and I love hanging with my friends.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for that. Haley did a great job. Good job.
Yeah, she did.
But yeah, today we're joined with a few different people now from 3 different schools. So this should be really exciting.
You're right. I'm not a lone wolf on this episode.
It's always just Father Ryan kids.
Diversity score.
Oh,
It's
Yeah,
good.
there you go. That's good.
But yeah, let's
Kids.
just jump into it. So, like Annabelle said, we're talking about relationships. So to each of you guys, how we're all called in our relationships to lead each other closer to Christ. In every relationship, we're called to do that, whether it's your friend, your neighbor, homeless person, your parents, your grandparents, just family. How do you guys tie that into your faith, or how is that a part of your faith, or is it a big part of your faith, or is it something you struggle with, or just your view on it?
Yeah, I guess I really enjoy having friends that are Catholic, and I think it's always good to have people around me that can kind of, say grace it with me at meals. That's a big one, because that's something that's very obvious to a lot of people, is when you sit down and pray before you eat, and stuff like that. So I really enjoy being surrounded by people like that, but I also think that I have a lot of friends who aren't Catholic, and I can kind of be a good example for them of I pray before I eat in meals and other stuff like that. I think that's good.
That's awesome.
That was good. We love that. Aaron. Aaron's one of my friends, by the way. I just want to point this out. So this is a fun episode for me.
Yay.
Yay.
Prayers before meals are also something that helps you kind of see where you're where everyone stands, if that makes any sense, because what kind of prayer they want to do. I eat dinner with Haley's family a lot, and they don't say the same before meal prayer that I say, but we all pray before meals.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because no matter what prayer we say, I always follow it up with the bless us, O Lord, and these thy gifts. To myself, if we if we don't say that one. So it's become kind of a running joke now that her dad will look at me and go, Grace, would you like to lead us in prayer? Because he knows I'm going to say mine either way. So he's like, well, let's just say yours. And he'll look at me and be like, would you like to lead us?
Yeah. Haley, do you want to explain? Haley is actually not Catholic, and she is joining us today as one of Grace's closest friends.
Yes. So, yeah, I'm not Catholic, but I'm still a Christian, practicing Christian. And
Sorry for
no, it's okay.
Sorry for starting off that story without introducing and explaining that.
No, it's okay. I mean, I think it's really great because we still we say our prayer before. We just say just a general prayer, thanking God for the day and for our food and just asking Him to bless it. And then we get to follow up and hear Grace's prayer and just see the difference, but how we're both still praying to God.
We're both great. Thanking God and praising God for the opportunity to have the meal. It's just slightly different ways of doing it, but it's nice because then we get to do 2 prayers. We get a double dose of Jesus.
Double extra Jesus.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's so fun. I get a double dose of Jesus once a month on Sundays because I'll go with them to church service and then I'll go to mass. Yeah. So I get back to back.
Nice.
Very cool.
Okay, I don't know how I'm going to spin off of that, but I think
It's okay.
that close Catholic friendships are very important. Like, our faith should involve our entire life. And so the Lord is calling us to do something in every interaction we've ever had with anybody. And part of that can be leading others to Christ, and part of that is finding others who will lead us to Christ. And so I try to be conscious of that and who I choose to be friends with and in how I interact with them.
That's good. I want to spin off that you said that choosing certain friends is something that is a valuable thing that we need probably mostly do as teens right now. So I've gone through different types of friends along the way, and they've always had something that's brought to me, but sometimes it takes away from me. Has any of you had certain like experiences where you don't have to, like, if you don't want to say anything, you don't have to, but basically where you've noticed that maybe the friend that you had was someone that you needed to be around and what you did to kind of push yourself away from them, or you had maybe on the flip side of that, you had a friend that you realized that you needed to get closer to and how you went about that.
Yeah, I would say I definitely have had a friend. I feel like definitely had both. I want to focus more on like the friend that brought really has helped me in my faith. It was one of my friends that I met when I was kind of like going through a lot, and she was kind of going through like the same things, but she's like really like really devout like Christian, and at the time like I wasn't like super on that like same path, and she really like helped me like just get closer to Christ a lot, just like by like giving me advice that was just like really great and godly and stuff. And then she actually supported me into getting baptized in May, and I think that's just been something that's really been something that's just like been really great in my life, just like her friendship and then friendship with the others, like just like going to like search and meeting people that are just like gonna build you up and like encourage you to like be like a Christian and like say like do the right thing. I feel like because sometimes hanging out with the wrong kinds of people gets you strayed from God, and it's not good. And I've had that before where like I was like in a friend group with people and I realized that it was not benefiting me and my faith, and then I realized, I had to pull away. Does that answer it? I don't know.
Absolutely. That definitely answers. That was beautifully worded.
I'm going to add because I also feel that a lot. And recently, like, I've been going through a lot, but, like, my faith has always been there, but, like, I didn't really realize until, like, I started going to, like, retreats and stuff and really getting, like, deeply involved in the Catholic faith and, like, youth group, that those relationships were what kept me in place and kept me with God instead of straying away. Like, when I tried to push away, like, my friend, even though I'd say, like, I know you're going to say it, like, you're going to say, just, like, pray, like, really give it up to God. But, like, truthfully, if I didn't have those friends, like, encouraging me or pushing me to truly give it to God in, like, those times, and versus the friends that are, like, oh, like, or, like, will feed off bad energy with, like, the situation and not, like, give you a positive thing, it really, like, it hurts you. And I think it takes up until realizing that, like, hey, like, God was there, and he always was there, and it was, like, through that person that God helped you, even though you were like, he left me here, but truthfully, he has come to you in whatever way he's trying to reach you. So I think, like, relationships are one, if not the most important thing, because we have to have a relationship with Christ. Otherwise, I mean, he's not there. And if we don't truly push ourselves each day to grow closer, like, we can't stay stagnant in our faith with, like, the Lord. Like, we continually each day have to challenge ourselves to grow towards him, because we will never fully know him, but, like, striving your best to, like, know him. I think all my friendships, especially recently, have really helped me to, like, push myself.
Kind of related to what you just said. I have a really close friend group that, like, I've been close to since, like, middle school, and, like, I love all of them so much. But our faith was never really something that we would just talk about. It was just kind of like, yeah, that's, like, we're all Catholic, we all know that, we all go to Mass, but we never, like, would sit and discuss it. And then we all went to church together, and it was kind of like, it's kind of funny because, like, it was my birthday when I went to church and I didn't want to be going. But I really, like, wanted to have a good time. I ended up being kind of sick the whole weekend, so I, like, enjoyed it. Were you sick?
Me too. I lost my voice the last day. It was rough.
Yeah,
I had a great time though.
It's a lot. Like, I know a lot of people who come home and have to recover.
Fun, yeah.
Like, it's fun, but, like, you're tired. You're up a lot. But, like, after that weekend, like, I was having like a rough time leading up to that weekend, and then after that, like everything was just like actually awful, like right after. So my search high ended real quick. But I like had like a little God moment like near the end of that weekend, and like the following like search talks, like the practice talks that you can go watch, we all went together and watched them. And on our drive back, we were all playing like what our search songs would be for each other if we were leaders. And I like played them like the song that I would play, and I told them like about my little God moment and like what my story would be. And we ended up having like a really like close discussion like in the Father Ryan parking lot at like 8 p.m. when we went to get our cars. We all like cried and hugged, and it was just a really beautiful moment because it was like a side of my friends I'd never seen before. Like I knew it was there, but we never talked about it. And like having support from my friends in an area that I usually didn't have just felt really good because like I knew that support would be there, but I had never asked for it. And like asking for it and getting it was like just really sweet, and like it really helped me a lot. And that's just something that like the friendships are so important, especially like when you can tie it into your faith life.
Especially at this age too. I mean, we, as much as like a lot of us don't realize it, we really do go through a lot as teenagers, and our lives are constantly changing in big ways, especially all of us because we're seniors. Well, hold on.
Juniors.
Yeah. 2 juniors. But like,
Mostly
I mean,
seniors.
even your life is changing because you're preparing for like one last year. But like, I feel like having, like Grace said, like having those friends and like honestly establishing like that faith, and like I feel like it felt really good like after that, or like now knowing that like when you need it, you can lean on them. So that was really beautiful.
Nice.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I think when we were young, like our teachers and our parents always told us like growing up, you're going to be able to find less time for Christ. And I think that I found that to be true in my own life. But I think if you have good friends who will talk to you about their faith and who you can talk to about your faith, like that's kind of a safety net that if like even if you can't find enough time, it seems, to go to mass or to pray, like you can find friends and do things with them, and they'll make sure that you never forget that our Lord is in your life.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. I was at Mass this morning, and it was both of us, and we had two of my really good friends were also there, and it's kind of becomes like an activity where like we're all there, and so you're not missing out on friend time to go do something with Christ and to kind of experience religion. That's what your friends are doing. So I think it's important to have those connections in your life.
That's so nice. I love that y'all go to Mass together. Do
Yeah.
you have like a morning Mass at your school?
We do, yeah.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, I'm working on it. That's something I struggle with. I go to Mass almost every day at school. And for me, it's genuinely at Father Ryan. It is me, and this kid used to go almost every day too, but he stopped. So it's actually me and like 1 or 2 other teachers, and like it always like feels awkward. But like recently with like search, because I'm on student ministry outreach team, I reach out to like the people making the searches or leading them, and like I'll invite them like before like the Tuesday meetings when they give their talks, just say, hey, like I know you might have jitters, but like this will prepare your heart for like what God is like calling you, how to say it, and how it's going to be presented from like how God has planned for you to say it to impact whoever it is at Search that needs to hear it. And so like the other day, Father Fawn just like he told me, he was laughing after Mass. He was like, there were so many people because like all the Search leaders showed up, and I was kind of surprised, but then it just like warmed my heart because like truly that's when I realized like a lot of them, like when you talk about it out loud, they're scared to like kind of open up about their faith, not knowing how their friends are going to react, especially when they're friends with people who aren't or like don't believe like the same things. And I feel like there's like a positive and like a negative to that. But it was just really nice, and it's something that I've been enjoying. And yeah,
I've always found morning Mass at Father Ryan to be very, very nice and very welcoming. I went once as a freshman because I wish I got up early enough to go every day. I really do.
I know
7 a.m.
I'm not a morning person. I roll into school at like 7:30 and get out of my car and walk into school and barely make the bell every day. Like I really wish I really wish I could do that. But I went once. I like made a point to go because I wanted to have gone like at least once, and I was there for like 5 minutes, and the father who switched, Father Simpson was trying to put like that like purple cloth over the crucifix for Lent, I believe it was, and he like couldn't reach, so he was trying to like throw it and get it up there, and he couldn't get it, and it was one of the funniest things I've ever watched because he was determined. He was like, we are not starting Mass until like this looks proper, which I'm so great, so grateful you want to make it right. But it was just really funny because it took like 10 minutes and we only do like a 25-minute mass anyway. And while I was like kneeling, like fighting, like trying not to laugh because I was literally like, it was funny. Everyone was laughing and I was trying not to laugh too much because I felt like I needed to be serious. Some senior came over to me and he was like, "Hi, I have never seen you here before. Like, welcome. We're so glad you're here." And he's like, "This doesn't usually happen. It's not usually like this." And I just thought it was so sweet because I was like, "Oh, I didn't realize this was like the same group of people that came every day." And he like came up and welcomed me and I was like, "Wow, okay. Like, this is so nice."
Did it happen to be Liam or
No,
AJ's
it was
brother?
Yeah, it was AJ's brother. It was Will. Mm-hmm. It was
Yeah,
Will.
they freshman year also because like I had just become Catholic in like 6th or 7th grade, and like
Congrats.
fully Catholic. Thank you. When I went to mass like before, like there used to be a huge group at Father Ryan that kind of fell away, but I guess that's also a part of like again like the relationships that you make and making a point to invite your friends. Like, I've done that recently, and I've gotten a few friends to, like, trickle in, and I'm hoping that maybe I can catch a few. But at the same time, I think also, like, when they do come, it's always, like, beautiful and, like, God's timing, too.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm not about to force someone to be at Mass.
You should play your guitar at Mass. I would come if you played your guitar at Mass.
Father Fawn is trying to get me. I'm playing Adoration tomorrow after school for 30
Really?
minutes.
Oh,
I
awesome.
want to come.
Okay.
But-
Are you going to sing?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And, like, recently, I've gotten, like, Mallory, who was on either the episode after this or before this, I got her to come to Mass for, like, search. And then she was, like, we've been talking about our faith a lot, like, as friends. And that's been really enjoyable. Like, a friend that I consistently talk about, like, God with every day. Just, like, talking about the faith just feels so, like, natural. But, like if... I don't know what I was going to say.
Is it like it's hard to find someone that it's easy to talk about it with?
Yeah,
You don't
and-
want to like start that conversation with someone who doesn't want to talk about it because that never goes well.
Yeah, and like for the first time after like search, she was like, I want to make it a point to come to Mass.
Oh,
like,
that's beautiful.
And so I was like, hey, like on Fridays, I was like, double whammy, Mass, adoration right after
Double
Mass.
whammy. Yeah, double dose of Jesus.
Yeah, and so,
I love saying that.
so like she's coming like tomorrow morning, and like it's just nice to have like at least one friend like that like
It's going to be there.
is gonna be there, or like Grayson who. If she even notices just a bit that my text message is off, I don't know how people can read through text messages, but she'll be like, I just want you to know I'm praying for you.
Aww.
And I have to say, I think one of the most powerful things that you can say to your friend, like, or just in general, is like when you hear someone just out of nowhere just go, I'm praying for you, or like, I'll pray for you. I don't know.
That is nice.
In case you're just joining us, this is 100.5 FM, Nashville Catholic Radio, and this is Drippy with Jesus. And yeah, we're talking about friendships, / relationships and how it ties into the church.
I'm going to bring it back to a few more questions. In what ways do you see Christ in your friends, or just in general people, I guess maybe people you see, but, or how does your friend embody Christ? Maybe is a better way to put that.
I like to see Christ in curiosity. I think that's one that really strikes me a lot, is when I have friends who like aren't Catholic or are Catholic but don't really know a lot about it, and so they come and they'll ask me questions, and sometimes I don't even know.
Oh yes, I love that.
But
we get sometimes good conversations at lunch.
It's
really
and
good.
it's really nice. I have one friend in particular right now who's kind of considering becoming Catholic, and so I get a lot of questions, and sometimes I don't always know the answers, but then I get to learn too, and it's actually really exciting. And so I see Christ in her a lot, where I'm like, yeah, like she's really trying and she wants to know more, and I think that's really powerful and beautiful for her.
That's so nice.
I think I see Christ in the trust that all my friends have for each other, that we know if someone's going through a rough time or if someone needs to keep a secret, like everyone's there for each other and we all want the good of each other in a true, loving way.
Yeah, that's a good one. Trust is big with friendships, and we have to trust our friends and we have to trust the people around us with things that maybe you have like hard time telling them, or you kind of want to keep to yourself, but you have to get it off your chest. And we can also do that with God as well. Like we can tie him in Christ, and our friends definitely act as Christ when they just sit there and just listen to what we need to say to them, just as he would if we were having a conversation, if he was just right across this table from us right now. It's really an impactful feeling that you get, just someone just being there for you.
I saw a TikTok the other day, and I think I sent it to you, Haley. That was a Bible quote that was like, I forget exactly what it is, but it was like, a sweet friendship refreshes the soul. or something along those lines. It may not have been the exact wording, but it was like, I just thought it was really nice because like having someone, like I touched on this earlier, but like having someone to lean on or someone to talk to, even if it's not necessarily about faith, like not every conversation you have is going to be just about your faith. Like, you know, you have everyday worries. It's still nice to have like the support and friendship of another person because like you can see God in everyone, even if they're not doing God-related things. Like you can still see Jesus like within every person, even if they're just willing to listen to your problems.
Yeah, I agree. I think yeah, just like having friendships that like you know that they want what's best for you and you know that they care about you and like you said, like they're praying for you. I also wanted to say a person that I really saw Christ in. I go to youth group sometimes at my church, and there's this youth group leader, and her name's, or can I say her name? Yeah, her name's Erin. She's really nice. She's lovely.
Shout out to Erin. She's listening.
I don't know if I can name drop or not.
No,
I mean, it's a good thing.
If it's a good thing, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh no, but so she's older, but not that old. She's
She's an adult.
She's an adult and a parent. But she's just one of those people that just every time she sees you, she's just always giving you a hug, and you can just like feel it, and you can just feel like she is just like she's such a warming, like calming presence that she's just so comforting. I just love her so much, and she always is like there, like if I'm going through stuff, I know I can just call her up and she'll give me like such good advice, and will just like be like on my side, or not even sometimes on my side, but she'll always just be like there, like telling me like, I don't know, giving me like good Christian advice. I don't know.
I went to your youth group like one time with you, and we were there for not like a super long time. We went to like get something. And I talked to her once, like she came up, said hi to me, and like immediately I was like, I love you. You're so cool.
She's such a pure soul. Like,
I know,
genuinely.
Like, she's one of those people that's just like light. Like you, like she walks into the room and you're just like, oh my gosh, like you're so nice. Like she always like
Miss
checks
McGee.
on. Yeah. She always like checks on everybody, and she's like, are you okay? Like how are you doing? How have you been? Or you're new. I'm so excited to see you.
Yes.
Like she like it's just so nice. Like I love the welcoming feeling of like someone being like, oh, I haven't seen you before. Like, let me make a point to say hi.
Yes, she's so nice like that, but she's also like so down to earth. Like she can just be really serious when you're
with her.
But yeah, she's just really great. So I think people like that, just like having people that you can like talk to like at any time, and they'll just be there like that are like Christians. Like it's really great.
Hey, real quick, if we just want to go around the table, because you brought up you're fine. You brought up a really nice like point of seeing Christ, like having values of what you like of a person. So just think about like, I guess maybe like, I guess your best friend or someone that you're really, really close to, and what value do you appreciate the most of them? So what stands out about that person that is like solely that person? Like you said, both of you said that Erin was just super down to earth or super loving, and she really just shows up from like 1 second you're there. Is there anyone like in particular that you think of in that moment where there's just like that person right there is Christ?
And it can be like an adult.
Absolutely.
Or like it can be anyone. It can even be a saint if like you had like a God moment.
Yeah, so one of my friends going into senior year told me that he would talk to every single person in our grade at least once over the course of the year. And as to my knowledge, he has. Like he very much makes an effort to know everybody's name and to talk to everybody. And that's a way of ministering.
That's nice. I like that. That's a good little thing to do before you leave, because you don't really get to know everyone before you leave. So I think just even like a little quick conversation with someone you might not even know their name really shows Christ, because he would be the person to go ask everyone their name and how they're doing. So it's really nice to hear.
Yeah, I was going to mention a friend of both Annabella and mine, who's new this year, Emma. She's awesome.
Emma, if you're listening, we love you.
Yeah, we do love you. She's awesome. She, that I see her in the chapel all the time. We'll talk in like any class. I sit next to her in a few classes or close to her, and so we'll talk about stuff. And she is like, I feel like conversations with her are super deep, and they're like, we can talk about like.
She's extremely smart.
She's
very
faithful,
smart,
and she is very faithful. Yes, she's someone I feel like I can go to for anything like religious. If I have questions or I want to talk to someone, she's someone I definitely turn to. Like both
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
She's amazing.
You guys over there
I've
have
got,
anyone? Well, I guess you mentioned, but keep going.
I have one teacher that I really like. Shout out Coach Shaver. He's fantastic. This is kind of a similar quality to what you pointed out, where like it's like someone who takes the time to like check on each person and like check in on everyone. Because like I feel like it's a hole we can fall into sometimes. I definitely have fallen into this sometimes where like you want to just hang out and talk to the people who you already like and the people who are already your friends. And we can forget that like even the people we don't like or people we don't agree with or people we think like don't live a Christ-like lifestyle like us, they still need people to like check in on them and make sure they're okay. And like that's just something that I always try to remember to do, and I've definitely forgotten it before, but like it's a conscious effort that I make that like even if someone's not really my friend, if they need help or like they look like they're having a rough time, like I want to like check in on them and make sure they're okay. And Coach Shaver does that 100%. Like during class, like he checks in on everybody. He asks us how we're doing when we start class. Like I've watched him like go up to like everyone in that class and be like, hey, are you okay? Like, hey, did you do the homework? You need an extra day? Or like, hey, do you want a blanket? Is it cold in here? He like gives out blankets because his room gets cold.
That's awesome.
I need that. I can think of a few teachers who should do that.
He's got the lights off and he's got like the little hanging lights. Like he literally makes it
he's
feel like
such a-
home. He's like
such a-
he
that's
is home.
cozy.
Like
I love his room.
Coach Shaver like makes an effort. Like I agree. Like he makes an effort to make his room feel like home, so that you feel at home.
I like that. He makes an active effort to be involved with his students, with his.
I want to shout out Grace. Grace Sizemore.
Wow,
Right?
we got a show shout out.
I mean, what you were saying about your coach, like I think like that's like you as a person, like genuinely, like I think you care about everyone, like genuinely so much, and are always checking up on everyone, including me. Like I'll just answer the phone, and Grace is like, "What's wrong?" Like she can hear it in my voice, like if something's wrong. Oh my gosh,
Don't cry, Haley.
No, and I'm just like you're always there for me or for anyone who needs you. Like just anyone like says something, you're like, yeah, I'll do it. Like I mean, you're very selfless, and I think that's. Definitely, like I definitely see Christ in you. Stop. I'm gonna cry. We already cried in the stairwell. We already had a moment.
I think that is a beautiful way to end this episode. Yeah. So thank you, Haley, Grace, Joseph, and Aaron, and Annabella for coming back and doing this with me.
I was about to say, I'm always here, but you're welcome. Thank you, Leelah.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you
Yes,
so
thank you for
much.
coming.
Of
So
course.
thank you for the quick
I know you
quiz.
guys were like really excited to be on this.
Oh yeah, I begged Leelah to let me come on.
So
Actually-
hype.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah,
Let us know if you want to come on.
honestly, DM us on
DM.
Instagram at drippywithjesus or email us at drippywithjesus. Oh wait, drippywithjesus@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for listening or watching.
Living and proclaiming the good news of Jesus Christ, welcoming all. This is Nashville Catholic Radio, 100.5 FM in Nashville. Streaming on the Nashville Catholic Radio app or ask your smart device to play Nashville Catholic Radio.
And remember always, you are beloved.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee.
This is Nashville Catholic Radio. People just like you listen to Nashville Catholic Radio.
On this episode of Belonging, the show for young Catholic adults,
100.5 FM and streaming on the free Nashville Catholic Radio app.
I went back to Vanderbilt and started fasting and praying.
Hello, I'm Bishop Mark Spalding of the Catholic Diocese of Nashville.
The Patrick Madrid Show on Relevant Radio.
Nashville Catholic Radio, 100.5 FM and streaming on the free Nashville Catholic Radio app.